Hey everybody, this is Hoang, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Red. We have guest star Gage Swift, aka Beaver, here to tell us about his experience with Red. Gage, why don't you introduce yourself a bit?
Hey guys, once again, this is Gage. Currently, I've been playing since mid September, so I'm still pretty new to Digimon. You know, I jumped right into a few tournaments off the bat, topped a couple of them. So far, I've played like three tournaments, top eight at one, second place on another. Yeah, right now I'm coming from Pokemon. That meta is weird, but yeah, Digimon's where it's at right now.
So, Gage, tell us, why do you like the color red, and what makes it stand out from the other five colors?
So with red, it's just pure aggression, and I'm in a pretty aggressive TCG player when it comes to cards. I just like putting pressure on people. Red has this thing where if your opponent like slips up a little bit, makes a little misplay, you could just punish them and steal the game right from under their nose. Plus, we get to play Ami and Terraforce, which is the two most busted cards in 1.0 right now.
So, I imagine everyone's probably dying to know what are Red's best matchup and what are Red's worst matchups?
All right, so far in my testing, I've noticed that black seems to be really simple and easy, just outpace them. Same thing with yellow currently. Purple seems to be a little bit of a tougher matchup with the Vengeance and the Trump Sword mechanics going on. It's very controlling. You just have to know how to outpace them and outplay them with the memory game. Try to keep them at one so they can't drop the pie and whatnot. Red and blue decks, it's just an Omnimon sack fest, really. Who can rush it out first? But ultimately, red just feels really dominant right now over all the other cards.
So, let me ask, what is your favorite aspect of the Digimon card game so far?
Okay, so right off the bat, joining this Discord community has been amazing. The community seems really cool, really chill, and very welcoming to newer players. So I definitely advise checking out the Discord when you guys can and just getting to know people because I swear I don't know any of these people, but they seem like really good friends to me. Other than the community, what really drew me to the card game is the mechanics itself, right? It blew my mind when I read that when you digivolve, you draw a card. I was like, what? Okay, there's the draw power there. But another, the main chunk that really kept me going in the competitive style is probably going to be the memory gauge here. Memory gauge, never seen it before in any other TCGs I played, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, whatever it may be. It's just super unique, and it brings a whole new sort of chess feeling where you could outplay your opponent with just a memory gauge if you know what they're doing. Plus you get rewarded for knowledge and of the card base, which is obviously a plus. But do your studying.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you adapt to different situations with the deck, whether you swing early or you wait, etc., like that?
Yeah, so usually it really depends on the matchup, right? You got to know what your opponent, you got to know what card pool your opponent has access to them, right? It could always be a surprise. You could, always play aggressive as red, right? With the either Rookie Rush or, early Metal Tyrannomon with the Greymon swing. But it's just really depending on how confident you are into going with that swing, right? Is it going to be a Vulcan Tower? Is it going to be a Terraforce? So on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you always have a backup just in case. Don't be afraid to sort of quote unquote play chicken in the raising area, especially if you're just trying, especially in like the Omnimon matchup. You don't want to Omni first, like don't bring out your stuff just to get it sacked, especially against like a Chimeramon. It always feels bad when you evolve into Metal Tyrannomon. You end your turn, and then they just go Chimeramon, and it really ruins your day, especially if you don't have anything else. So yeah.
All right. Now, Gage, can you break down this red list you have for us today?
Yeah, sure. So in 1.0, right? Well, we're going to start off with the Tamas, right? We only have three red Tamas that they blessed us with: Yokomon, Koromon, and Baby Drawn. If I'm not yeah, Baby Drawn.
Yeah.
And right now we're not really dealing with a lot of piercing, so obviously Baby Dramon's out. So we're gonna go with 4 Koromon, 1 Yokomon. Koromon's just more consistent. You'll get to the stack eventually. Yokomon, you're not really gonna swing into other people. You want to hit the security, man. You're trying to go hard. Now with the rookies, right, we're going with a hefty 15 here, where we could apply early game pressure, right? We go 2-drop Biomon, 2-drop Biomon, sorry guys, 2-drop Monodramon. Real nice, quick, simple, easy punch in the face, right? We got to play the 4 Agumon, 4 Gilmon for that DP boost, be even beefier, right? With the champions here, you had to play the Dark Tyrannomon. It's super vanilla, super cheap, ready to go. 6,000 is great. Blockers, people say, oh, why for a blocker? Well, how many times have you lost because you don't have a blocker, right? The Greymon, the bread and butter of the deck, honestly, is what makes it so aggressive. We got to max out 4 on there. Then it's pretty basic in the ultimates and the champions, right? The ultis, we had the cheap Groundramon, the 2 Skullgrays, and the 2 Metal Tyrannomon. I'm running Metal Tyrannomon just because of 10,000 DP. It allows us to swing a little more with confidence with that Greymon under us, right? So Greymon, Metal Tyrannomon could take that to relatively safe. Then we have the Skullgray, playing 2 because Piedmon likes to drop those Vilemons a lot. So answering a Skullgreymon usually, because they'll always give you enough memory where you could drop the Skullgray and pop the blocker and just go in from there. With the Megas, we're going 3-4 split with the 3 Volcanodramon and 4 Phoenixmon. Got to get to Omnimon fast, right? With Phoenixmon. 12,000, big, beefy guy. Security is looking great. And it's just a great card. The artwork's beautiful on top of that, too. Volcanodramon is for the Rookie Rush here, right? I'm getting a lot of hype in my local area that Rookie Rush is going to be played a lot. So, hey, we'll have an answer for that with the Vault Boy. Plus Security Tech +1 is always sick. Obviously, we're going to play the 4 Omni. That's our top-off card. That's the one that usually wins us games. And Quad Terraforce, right? So I centered this deck to make sure our security is going to be thick and powerful, right? We got 2, 5, 9, 13 Digimon with 10,000 plus DP. Then we have the 4 Terraforce. So that's like 17 security cards that are just solid in there. So yeah, overall, it's pretty simple, straight to the point, but you got to know what you're doing with the cards and have to really know why they're there.
Final question for you now, Gage. How do you think the deck will do in the upcoming 1.0 meta, and then when 1.5 drops, how do you think it will change?
All right, so in the upcoming 1.0 meta, I feel red is top tier, 100%. It has Omegamon, it has Terraforce, it has answers to purple and blue, which are going to be the other 2 top decks, quote unquote, right? So it's red, blue, and purple. Red is going to be the go-to for me, and for a lot of people, I'm assuming, just because of Omnimon, right? Now, in 1.5, we're getting the rest of BT1 through BT3 cards from Japan, right? So it has this nifty little card that could evolve from red or black Digimon. Blitzgreymon. Blitzgreymon allows you to de-digivolve. Sorry, on Digi-Evolution, you get to de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon by 2, and he has Piercing, right? So this means that we could control our opponent's board while still being super hyper aggressive, right? Blitzgreymon opened up red a whole new can of biscuits to mess with, right? You could combo it with Valkyriemon, we even have Alter S, which also has another busted Digivolve ability. So yeah, in 1.5 meta, red's going to be top tier, 100%. And unfortunately, 1.5, we get Shine Greymon now. Shine Greymon's sort of a iffy matchup, probably one of the worst matchups that Red could have right now. It got quicker, it got faster, and they blow up your board, which is, something that you're supposed to do.
All right, and so here we have Gage, who's presented us gameplay footage of a Fast Omegamon Red versus Purple. As you can see, his hand is a relatively standard opening with levels 3 through 6. How did you feel about this?
Yeah, this hand opening is going to be great. I'm going to be able to churn through the deck 3, 4, 5, 6 straight away. Here he gives me 2, and honestly, going second with 2 memory is really nice. You know, I feel like that's a little too much than he would have when it gave me, but you know, with purple, they're always usually going to pass you too.
And so now,
So
go on.
So yeah, with the 2, you know, after this, you just want to try to choke him down as much as possible. You know, just with any other gameplay, right? But here we're just gonna go tall. We're gonna go straight into Phoenix Mon next turn, and yeah, try to get security.
So what made you want to opt for the go tall option rather than the go wide variation with the Monodramon Hard Slam?
There, I just wanted to like apply pressure and draw as much as I can versus applying as much pressure. The more I draw, the more faster I get to my Omnimon and the other key pieces I need.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, there are double Vilemon on the board, and he does have the double Skull Greymon in his hand, which is going to be a really good answer if the blocker decides to stick around preventing lethal.
Yeah, see there, he could have, just let the security go through, but I would have just dropped the Skull Grey if he didn't block it there, and then get value there. But, simple, just gonna choke him out.
Yeah, and by playing the Monodramon immediately after, we're able to lock him to 1, which limits any play, as purple does not have a 1-cost card in set 1.
Yeah, that's very important. You need to play around the Devimon. The Vengeance is what's scary. Yeah. You could play around Chump Sword by swinging, but, the way you play around the Vengeance is keeping them at 1.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Devimon is actually a 2-cost evolution at level 4, who gives Vengeance, or has Vengeance, which would destroy the Phoenixmon since it is rusted. And losing your stack here is really, really detrimental, because that stack is your gateway into the Omegamon. Or the
Exactly.
Omnimon.
And see, here versus purple, their security is relatively safe to swing into with the babies, right? Because they have really low DP Pokemon.
Pokemon.
They usually wow, Digimon. Wow, wrong mindset. My bad. Pokemon on mine, but yeah. So their security is usually weak. So we get lucky with the Monodramon surviving. Going to Cordramon, we got the boy. We found Omnimon. That's just drawing through your deck as quickly as possible, right? We got plenties of 4s, 5s, and yeah, we're gonna go white here and threaten some lethal.
Right, so
3? Yeah.
Take into account, because his opponent is at level 5, that means he can't go into the Devimon from this point and clear the Phoenixmon, which is really, really important to take recognition of rather, when you're playing versus the purple matchup.
Most definitely. Alright, so here he just clears the babies, and you know what, that's fine. I mean, yeah, he had to, essentially, but now we could just, we could swing into the Beals if we wanted to here, but I think I chose to go for a security check. Yeah. Because I have the Omnimon, right? I could just go in Omnimon, give him 4, and then Omnimon could swing 2 times next turn. Probably should have dropped a Biomon here, but I think I just go for the Omnimon.
I think you do drop the Biomon here, if I remember correctly.
Probably should.
Yeah, here...
Just play wide.
Yeah, because by playing wide, you enable lethal on the next turn, which is really, really important. Yep, there's the
Most
Biomon.
definitely. There it is. Because Omnimon's, when attacking, in fact, allows us to bounce back to Phoenixmon and restand, essentially attacking twice. The thing is, with that, you gotta be careful with Chump Swords.
Right.
That always feels bad.
And it's really important to acknowledge that Trump Sword is 7 memory, which means he can Trump Sword in order to pass the turn, immediately locking Gage to 1. And he also cannot go into the Devimon because there's no stack pre-existing for him to Digivolve into, and thus being able to ramp into the Omegamon. But even if he had that, he has the Cordramon to block the Vengeance swing, thus protecting the Omegamon.
Yeah, blockers are very important in the purple too. Not only to block your security, to chump block the Vengeance.
Gotta get, in general, like protecting your really important stacks and whatnot.
Alright, so looks like our opponent here is having a tough time
Well, it's like, what do you do in this situation? Because you can't clear the
Yeah.
Omega Mon because you can't Trump
Yeah,
Sword.
exactly. What, he could Trump Sword. Oh, this is okay. So he's going hard drop into a blocker because he needs to block, and then like he could Trump Sword the like blocker, but that's such a
Right, and so currently, as it stands, his opponent is at 3 security, I believe. Kind of hard to tell with the Terrier Mons. But,
there's
oh,
two.
there's the Vilemon.
Mm.
It
All
looks-
right, so doing this, we could do a couple different plays, right?
Right, and then we open the Gaia Force as well. Gaia Force is really, really strong, if you guys don't know that, by the way. Card is crazy.
Yeah, it's just a simple, 8 costs, destroy any Digimon on the board. Yeah, it's the best removal in the game outside Omnimon.
Right, and he takes the
Alright.
damage.
Oh man, he just taking it. He doesn't care. Alright, so we restand, we attack again with Omnimon. And okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we kind of debate, like, I could go into an Omnimon again and pop both blockers and give him 6. Or we could, take care of one, put another body on the board, and leave him at 3 memory, which is ultimately the better play because it gets another body on board that he needs to answer.
Right, and so by doing this line of play, you're able to play around Trump Sword, and you're playing around Devimon, who would prevent lethal if we didn't have the extra body on board, unfortunately.
The only thing that we're missing here, I guess, is the rookie in the raising area, but honestly, this should spell GG.
Yeah, Skull Greymon is going to be really, really strong in set 1 if you guys are looking for a good red tech to incorporate. I believe, yep, there's a scoop.
I like the Trump Sword he held the entire time. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, Alex, Skull Greymon, one of the best cards coming from 1.0. Oh, that's a blocker. That's cute. Pop.
Alright guys, and once again, thanks so much to Gage for giving us a little rundown on Red, especially in the competitive variety. If you have any last words, feel free to say them.
Yeah, just a little recap. Let's see. Red is very powerful in 1.0. It's getting more stuff in 1.5, Blitzcrank, Ultra S, all that good stuff. It's going to stay top tier in 1.0 and 1.5 meta. That's my opinion. You could agree or disagree, but I'm pretty sure Red's going to stick around for a while. It's the best aggressive deck. Let's see. Yellow gives it a tough time in 1.5. Other than that, I guess, maybe a red mirror and a blue Omnimon could give it a little trouble in 1.0. But, other than that, just gonna, do a few quick shoutouts to my boy Steven Sanchez in Triumph TCG. Definitely check him out if you need Digimon singles or anything like that. Also, our lovely host here, Alex Fan.
Oh, thank you.
My guy, busted guy, beautiful guy, handsome man.
Oh.
Other than that, shout out to Terraforce.
Alright, and thank you all for watching, and we hope that you come back for our next piece of content.